Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all Vaishnavas assembled. Thank you all for chanting the holy names in the Brahma Muhurta very nicely. Now we'll move on to the very sweetest part of the day, that is a little bit of discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. Water. So before we begin, I'll start with a very short kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18th chapter, verse 1. Suta uvacha Yavai druni astra viplusto Namat matur udare mritaha Anugrahad Bhagavataha Krishnasya Adbhuta Karmanaha. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Sri Suta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burnt. Purport. The sages of Naimisharanya became struck with wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Maharaja Parikshit, especially in reference to his punishing the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Suta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death, and this verse is stated by Suta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisharanya. Om Agnana Timarandasya Gnana Janasalakaya Chakshurundilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Datatri Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So before I begin, I would thank all our leaders for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity in the Brahma Muhurta to discuss a little bit of Srimad Bhagavatam. And though I am not qualified, they are very merciful to give me this opportunity, and I am doing it this for my own purification. So thank you.
Krishna.
So this verse, this is a very important chapter, because today I'll be, we can discuss on three aspects. That is, first one being the glories of Parikshit Maharaj. His birth and death is so important, and the Saunakadi Rishis are so eager to hear more and more about Parikshit Maharaj. So we'll discuss a little bit of Parikshit Maharaj's glories. Then second one is Krishnasya Adbhuta Karmanaha. That we'll discuss, and if time permits, we can also discuss a little bit on Anugrahad Bhagavataha. So three aspects we can discuss today. So when Parikshit Maharaj, he accepted the kingship, it is mentioned here in Srimad Bhagavatam that it is not just he inherited from his grandfather, Pandavas. Sometimes a person comes to the post because he inherited from his father or grandfather. Although he may not be competent to the post, it was not like this in Parikshit's case. When he ascended the throne, he gave out the challenge to the whole world. What is that? He asked, is there anyone out there who can fight with me? If no one is there to accept the challenge, only then I will accept the throne. So he made this challenge not once. He made this challenge thrice, three times in all the directions. And finally, what happened? All the kings bowed down to him and were very happy to pay tributes and to pay taxes and accept Parikshit Maharaj as a king. So this goes on to prove that Parikshit was a very chivalrous king, and he attained his post not only because of inheritance, but out of pure merit. He has attained that post. Not only this, one more thing is, one day when Parikshit Maharaj heard that somewhere in his kingdom, some regulative principles are being broken, and he heard that the cow and bull have been beaten. So when he heard this, immediately he boarded his chariot and he reached the spot where he saw the bull and the cow being beaten by a man in a dark black dress, and he was wearing a crown, imitating as though a king. Immediately Parikshit Maharaj took a sword and was ready to cut off his head. At the same time, this man in black dress, understanding the power of the king, Kali Purusha, he fell at the feet of Parikshit Maharaj and begged for his life. Right? So actually here, according to Kshatriya codes, if someone falls at one's feet and begs for life, or if someone runs away, or if someone is blind, or someone is a child, or is in a sleepy state, none of them should be killed. Okay? So the king Parikshit just followed the Kshatriya codes. He forgave that foolish person and asked him, how dare you dress like a king? Although you are only a low-class Shudra, and you're posing yourself to be a king, and on top of that, you're beating the cow and bull, you deserve to be killed at my hands. But since you fell at my feet, I forgive you. But that was Kali, who was beating the Bhumi and the bull Dharma. So Parikshit Maharaj was a saintly king, and he was feeling pity for Dharma. And Mother Earth, she's been tormented by this vicious king called Kali. And he said, as long as I am alive, the representative of the Pandavas, I will never let this happen in my kingdom. I will lay down my life to see that such irreligious things cannot happen in my kingdom as long as I'm alive. That was his, conviction. So what he did finally, he allotted 4 places for Kali to reside. Which are the 4 places? All of you know that, where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. And of course, he was still not satisfied. So he gave a 5th place also. That was where people are hoarding gold and wealth. Okay. So Parikshit Maharaj is a very, very intelligent person. He said, in my kingdom, I will not keep these 5 places at all. He passed a law saying, none of my prajas in his kingdom will involve in these activities. They will be arrested. Everybody should follow the Varnashrama Dharma, he said. So, in this, Parikshit Maharaj instituted rules exactly in alignment with scriptures. And therefore, the whole world was free from all these vices. It was like Vaikunta. And what Parikshit Maharaj did with all the gold and money he had, he used them to expand the Sankirtan movement, like, paintings of the temples, building temples, etc. He used the money for that. There was absolutely no place for sinful activities. So Kali did not find a place at all. So henceforth, what happened? He was banished from the kingdom. So when the Saunakadi rishis heard this, they applauded. Oh my God, what a king! Then they said, we are thrilled to hear more and more about this king. There is a very important aspect, very important truth about Parikshit Maharaj. He was such a special soul that during his birth, he was specially protected by none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So when the war was almost about to be over, the Pandavas were all standing together. At that time, Mother Uttara, she came running very fast. So she did not approach Pandavas, though they were all very great fighters. She only approached Krishna. In great anxiety, she called out for Krishna. She knew very well that the danger she's facing, nobody can sort out it easily, because 2 powerful Brahmastras were sent by Ashwatthama. One was aimed towards the womb of Uttara, the last child in the dynasty of Pandavas, that is Parikshit Maharaj, and another one was sent to destroy the Pandavas. So the learning for us here is, when one is in danger and one is feeling fear and rushes to Krishna's feet, is the most fortunate soul, rather than if one is trying to fight back by his own ability. No. So, and also, nobody can save anybody other than Lord. If the Lord wishes somebody should die, he will die. And vice versa. If somebody has to live, Lord will definitely protect him. Rake Krishna mare Krishna rake ko. So, going to the Lord is the most intelligent thing one can do, because everything ends with Lord. There is nothing behind him. Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Krishna says, Matta parataram nanyat. So there is no truth which is superior to me, Krishna is saying. So Uttara is saying that she is not worried about her life. But this lost child is very important, because the Pandavas are getting old and retire. And now who will rule this world? And she was also concerned about the dynasty and protection of the people of the world. So this child is going to be the successor of the Pandavas. So going to the Lord's lotus feet is a natural for devotees. But Krishna, when Uttara came with all this, Krishna never even got up. He was sitting wherever he was sitting, and he was smiling. And from that place only, he just cancelled one Brahmastra, which was aimed at Pandavas with his chakra. And of course, we all know Krishna, entered the womb of Uttara and he protected child Parikshit. So now, somebody may think, how come Lord used his chakra? As the war was not yet over, because Lord had promised he will not use any weapon. So here, the understanding is Lord did not care. He did not want to be a worldly moralist. Imagine if the Lord has said, my dear Pandavas, now that I cannot save you, why? Because I have taken a vow. That's not what Krishna said. But instead, he immediately took his chakra and finished the Brahmastra. So, he wanted to be known as Bhakta Vatsala Govinda. That is, protecting devotees is the most important for the Lord. So this shows one important phenomenon. What is that? In this world, many demigods, they give us benedictions, right? But they will not give protection, or they can't save us in the time of danger. But Krishna is a special personality who will give us protection and correction also. Example we can see here is Lord Shiva could not protect, could not save Ravana, his devotee, and Lord Brahma could not save Hiranyakashipu. Brahma was just watching Lord Narsimadev tearing Hiranyakashipu's belly apart, and Brahma did not say a word, right? In fact, Brahma was afraid that he shouldn't have given this benediction to Hiranyakashipu. That was the situation. Whereas Lord Krishna Lord Krishna is immediately available for his devotees when in difficult situations. For that, we can have many examples. One of them is Draupadi. We all know Draupadi when she was in trouble, how Krishna supplied length and length of saris when Dushyasana was, uh, troubling her. So he gave a length and length of saris and protected, and the saris were all used. It is not like buy one get one sale, everything free. So many saris. All the Kaurava princesses, they came and picked up all the saris. So in this way, and also how Krishna throughout, when Pandavas were in exile, throughout Krishna was there with them to protect them, guide them, mentor them. And in fact, Arjuna was mentored in the war when he was demotivated to fight by giving him expert instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So he also became his chariot driver. Friend turned into a philosopher. So Lord is always there to protect his devotees. So this is one Adbhuta Karmanaha, what Krishna is doing. Now the question arises, what if Krishna's devotee commit blunder? Okay. So Krishna will protect them by correcting them. Very famous example is Govardhan Leela. Lord corrected Indra by leveling his pride. Here we see, as I already told, the word Adbhuta, Krishnasya Adbhuta Karmanaha, meaning his activities are all marvelous, because in this Govardhan Lila, nobody can budge the mountain a millimeter also. But here, Krishna is lifting the mountain, that too not with both hands, but with a little finger on his left hand. So he's performing this Adbhuta Karmana and offering shelter like an umbrella in rainy season. So this Adbhuta is coming in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. Another example is in the 10th canto. Adbhuta Balakam. Balakam is mentioned. So Krishna is not an ordinary Balaka. We all know that. But Adbhuta Balak, how normally children are born with no hair in their head. But Krishna, when he was born, he had curly locks on his head when he was born. Children are born with nude body, without any dress. But our Krishna, our Supreme Lord, was born with pitambar. Children will generally cry when they are born. And even if they don't cry, doctor will give them a slap and make them cry. Children are supposed to cry. But Krishna was smiling when he was born. Not only that, what he had 4 hands. And he was holding Sankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma in all his hands. So, and not only that, his body was decorated with ornaments. Have you seen a child born with ornaments? So, Krishna was born with such beauty. Normally, also, when a child is born, he cannot speak nor recognize, at least up to the age of 2 or 3. But here we can see that Krishna is speaking to his parents. In fact, he reminded Vasudeva and Devaki of their 2 previous births also. Therefore, he is Adbhuta Balakam, right? When he was born, the whole jail is lit up from the light emanating from his body, like the sunlight. Like this, Krishna did many Adbhutam. When his father picked him up, the chains broke automatically. Doors opened up. The doorkeepers all fell asleep. And Ananta Shesh gave him protection from rain to be carried him from Mathura to Gokula. So at every step you can see the Adbhutam happening. His birth is very wonderful. His speech is very mysterious. and wonderful. His activities are all wonderful. So this reminds me of the wonderful Vaishnava bhajan, which is composed by none other than Srila Vallabhacharya. The language is Sanskrit. I would just like to sing just two lines. Adaram maduram vadanam maduram nayanam maduram asitam maduram hridayam maduram gamanam maduram madhuradhipatir akilam maduram. So we can see everything about Krishna is Madhuram. In another place, there is a mention of Adbhuta Karmanaha. Again, is at the time of Krishna thought the war is going to end. Now, Bhishma Dev is lying on the arrow bed. We all know that. He was waiting for Uttarayana to start, right? That is around Shankranti. Before he leaves the body, Krishna wants to give him the pleasure that Pandavas have ascended the throne because he had a soft corner for Pandavas. Because they are the righteous ones, pure devotees of Krishna. So Krishna wants to give joy to Bhishma by taking the Pandavas to him. So, but we all also have our own ambitions, which are centered around us, right? But Krishna's ambition is to please the heart of the pure devotee. And since Bhishma was the most learned personality in the entire Kaurava dynasty and most elderly and mature, he knows the duties of the king. So Krishna wants to take the Pandavas to him so that KT happens. That is, knowledge transfer can happen. Since Yudhishthira is going to be the next successor. Plus, one more important thing is Krishna wants Bhishma to experience the highest state of blissful Krishna consciousness by glorifying him. So, while living our body, our consciousness should be so sublime that it should be withdrawn from all material clutters and absorbed in the loving relationship of the Lord. So, Krishna wanted to give that opportunity to Bhishma Dev. So in order to give that experience to Bhishma Dev, Krishna did one Adbhuta Karmanaha. What is that? He made Yudhishthira to start crying. When great souls cry, something great will come out. That we'll discuss. When Arjuna was lamenting in Kurukshetra war, what is Adbhuta Karmana happened? Bhagavad Gita came out. So Krishna pacified them and said, you are all not, he told, pacified the Pandavas. He said, you are all not cause of the war. I told you all to fight. It was a righteous battle because Dharma has to be established. But Yudhishthira Maharaj was not pacified. Then Krishna told him, you can go to Vyasadeva there and check. Then he could not get pacified. Then he went to other sages. He could not get pacified. Then Krishna said, now let us go to Bhishma Dev. So Krishna wanted to declare to the whole world that Bhishma is more knowledgeable than me also. Look how Krishna is saying, right? That is Adbhuta Karmanaha. That was Krishna's nature. In that purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the super soul in the heart of Yudhishthira Mother told him not to become convinced by Krishna's preaching. But outside, Krishna is trying to pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? So Yudhishthira Maharaj then learned from Bhishma Dev the Raja Dharma, Stri Dharma, and all other dharmas from Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev also spoke what was the outcome of Yudhishthira Maharaj's lamentation? Vishnu Sahasranama came out. That means, in this way, Krishna performs Adbhuta Karmanahas. So, we'll go to the next line. We have some more time. So, there is another word in the sloka, Anugrahat Bhagavataha. So, what is that? Anugrahat means mercy. How does Lord show his mercy? Even if Krishna gives us a material benediction, that is also a mercy. Then, what is the difference between Lord Krishna and the demigods? Because both give material benefits, there is a gulf of difference between the two. What is that? When Krishna gives material benefits, one will not go for the second time asking for any more material benefits after that. It is guaranteed that one will lose the taste for all material things. Why? Because he will give the nectar of his lotus feet, and by drinking that nectar, one will lose the taste for all material enjoyment. The very example we all know is Dhruva Maharaj. He went for material benediction, and finally, what he got? He got taste of Krishna's lotus feet. Right? Another one important story is there. We all know, of course, we have heard it before. Daku Bhagat. There was a thief who, to escape from the police, ran into a temple where Srimad Bhagavatam class was being going on. And the speaker was speaking about Krishna in Vrindavan. He was hearing attentively this Daku. He was telling how Lord was decked up so beautifully with so much of jewelry, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, bangles, etc. So now this Daku, he was planning, oh, so is it so? Then he was planning to steal. Now he noted the address of Krishna. What is the address? Banks of Yamuna, Kadamba tree in Vrindavan. So here what we should understand is this Daku, this thief had more faith than the speaker himself. Then what this Daku did, he also had put tilak and was sitting in the class so that he will not be caught by the police. Then what he did, after the class, he went to Vrindavan in search of Krishna. His mind at the time was chasing Krishna, full of Krishna in his mind. So what we can learn here is, if my mind is chasing Krishna, I get Krishna. Whereas if my mind is chasing Maya, I get Maya, right? So he finally reached Vrindavan, he found Krishna on the banks of river Yamuna. Now Krishna is alone. Actually, Krishna is never alone. We all know that. He's always with his Gopa friends, the cows and calves. But now he purposefully kept himself alone. For what? For the sake of this pastime. Because he wants the thief to meet him alone. So the thief, he realized that what the speaker was spoken about him was true. Krishna is wearing so many ornaments, fully decked up by Yashoda Maya. So what he did, he just purchased a 2 rupee banana to take away 20 lakh worth necklace, right? So of course, we all know whatever we offer out of love, right, and devotion, Krishna will accept. So he gave that banana, 2 rupee banana to Lord. Krishna accepted. And while Krishna was eating, this thief slowly put his hand on the necklace of the Lord. Then Krishna said, no, that cannot, you cannot take away that. Mother Yashoda will question me, she'll be upset with me. And as soon as he touched Krishna, he got a big shock. He fell to the ground and he was rolling and weeping. And Krishna told him, no, don't cry so much. Please don't cry. I will give you the necklace. Then the thief said, no to the jewelry Krishna offered him. No, don't worry. If you don't want, if you said no, if you are not satisfied with the necklace, I'll give you my earrings, I'll give you my bracelet, everything I'll give it to you. Don't cry. Then the thief said, no, I don't want any of that. Then what do you want? Then the thief said, I want only you. See, Adbhuta Karmanaha, is it? From then onwards, he went on to become a pure devotee, and he lived on the banks of the Rimona the rest of his life, witnessing the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. So, this thief, he went for material benediction, and he was awarded Krishna Prema. Such a Adbhuta Karmanaha, isn't it? So, finally, I would like to quote one verse which speaks about a great devotee from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 8th verse is, Tatte nukampa sumakshe samano bunjane vatma kritam vipakam hridva vipube vidadam namaste jive toyo mukipa sadaya bhak. So, in this verse, there are so many hidden amazements. That is, who is a great devotee? There are 5 qualities of a great devotee. What is that? I will cut it short because of the time. It is grateful, being respectful, being expectations or eagerness. When will the day come that Guru and Krishna will be pleased with me? When will the day come that I see Krishna's lotus feet? We also have that Nayanam Galadasrudaraya, that verse will come to my reminder. And accept and tolerance. So these are the 5 qualities of a great devotee. And then Parikshit Maharaj all had all these qualities. Then we all have all these qualities. We become the rightful heir hair in getting a place in the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So that was the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit was actually protected in the womb of his mother. But now he is going to be put into a peculiar situation where he is going to be cursed and die in 7 days. But he did not try to reverse the situation. He was willing to accept it as Krishna's mercy. He thought that Krishna is, calling him back home, back to Godhead. If what happens if Parikshits continue to be here, then Kali Yuga cannot continue. It will become like Satyuga then, because Parikshit is ruling the world. So Krishna wanted to take him out of the scene so that Kali can proceed. And also, Lord wanted to bring in Srimad Bhagavatam to this world through the medium of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj was completely fearless and accepted the grace of Krishna with open arms, without weeping or crying or demanding Krishna to protect him. He is a real hero. So it is a very great lesson for us. We can learn from Parikshit Maharaj. Whatever troubles will come in our lives, we should face it by firmly taking shelter of Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. Now, another 2 minutes, I'll end the class. So, session. So now this Adbhuta Karmanaha, it's continuing. How? In all the yugas, most of them had the darshan of the lotus feet of Lord after a lot of penance and tapas, be it Dhromaraj, Prahlad Maharaj. However, the beauty of Kali Yuga is that Krishna, who came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the most munificent avatar, gave Krishna prema even without even having any qualification or tapas. He gave this to the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. The easiest method to perfect our lives by giving us the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. There are no rules and regulations to chant this, Maharaj. Anybody, anywhere, even a Chandala, the lowest of mankind, can chant the holy names and achieve perfection. Unlike in other yugas, people need not have any qualification in Kali Yuga to chant the holy name. This is real Adbhuta Karmanaha. This Adbhuta Karmana is still continued. When Srila Prabhupada took this Hare Krishna Mahamantra to the West, and we all know how nicely all the Western people, how they became his nice, pure devotees, they became his disciples, and they are now still carrying forward this, and so it is a great fortune for all of us to be in this Gaudiya Parampara, and we all can feel the Adbhuta or be a part of this miracle and perfect our lives. So I'll stop with this. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavana Gurudev ki jai. My God Premanande Hari Hari Bol.